Welcome to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the Morgan Knows Podcasting Network. You're in the ring with the Trios champions, Jimmy, Rod, and hashtag Old Man Chris. Rod, what are you hot about today?
Right now, I'm hot about the fact that you just called us the Trios champion. That means I'm somehow an AEW, which I absolutely stone cold would refuse to do. So I don't know why you're getting us started off with the bang, Jimmy. This is supposed to be a fun preview episode.
AEW. We have a fun episode today for sure. We have the Night of Champions, which, by the way, if you didn't know from Raw the other night, is at 1 o'clock Eastern on Saturday, people. They only mentioned that, Chris, about 1,000 times, I think, on Raw.
It was like it was like every other line coming out of somebody's mouth or on the bottom of the screen. It was consistent because, you know, I probably would have forgot about it if they didn't blast it into my dome 24/7.
Almost as if they were worried that people would think Night of the Champions was on at night.
Right?
Saturday afternoon of Champions just doesn't have the same ring to it, so we're going to get into that here real quick. But Rod, you've got to be hot about something else. What's going on? Come on, give me something good.
Okay, listen.
No, anyway.
I'll give squirrels. That's good. Listen to the Balls and Brew podcast for some expert squirrel takes from Jam Riska and I. Chris King thought that he had baseball, and then we gave him squirrels, and he was completely squashed. But you got to listen to the other podcast to find out what I'm talking about there. We're going to bring the group thread alive here for a second, all right? Because I think that's what Jimmy's fishing at here. I completely decided to take an unnecessary jab at our guy, the Cleveland Crippler, Mark Allen, who is a huge fan of Shayna Baszler. He's all oiling himself up and getting excited for Shayna Baszler and Ronda getting a shot at the vacated women's tag team belts. And I saw Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green wrestling, and I decided to drop the scorching hot take that Sonya Deville is everything Shayna Baszler wishes she could be. Jimmy, your thoughts on that take?
I think it's a take that you love having, and like most of your takes, you're wrong. Here's the thing with Sonya Deville. She's really, really slow in the ring. She's a little messy in the ring, and that scares me a little bit. Shayna Baszler is a lot more technical, a lot better of a worker, in my opinion, than Sonya Deville. I think that Sonya Deville's character has been developed more. But and I'm going to go to Crippler here. In NXT, they did a really good job of forming the Baszler badass character that they have ruined since day one on the main roster, and they have not been able to come back, and they're not going to be able to come back. So coming from your perspective, who doesn't know any of that, I can see why you think she's completely overrated. Chris King.
I believe Shayna Baszler could kick my ass a whole lot quicker than Sonya Deville.
See, I'm going to disagree real quick right there. I think Sonya Deville does a pretty good job of seeming like her strikes are pretty darn powerful. I think she projects an air of, I'm a bit of an MMA fighter.
Because I think they're actual real strikes, and I think that's an issue in wrestling.
I'm not in the ring, Jimmy. I like charisma, but I'll fire back at you in a second. Chris, continue with your take.
I do think that the Baszler-Rousey tag team makes the most sense for a tag team champion. I don't see any other duo of women that really seem like a tag team yet to me. Am I crazy? I don't really see Green and Deville as being a real tag team. I just don't see that. I don't see that as being believable in my eyes. I can see Rousey and Baszler as being a tag team duo.
Listen, thank God for me bringing the charisma to this podcast, and thank God for me for fighting for charisma. What are you two guys talking about here? Shayna Baszler exudes absolutely nothing. You think nothing when Shayna Baszler walks on to the ramp. You think nothing when Shayna Baszler gets in the ring. She doesn't make you excited. She doesn't make you hate her. She doesn't make you anything. She's a complete nothing. Sonya Deville is charismatic. All right. She looks tough. She looks cool. She looks sexy. She looks dangerous. She's funny. She has all of those things wrapped up in the way she presents herself. And quite frankly, she looks a bit like a badass in the ring on top of also being charismatic. I don't understand why we should care if people are getting hurt in the ring or they're not getting hurt in the ring, because the WWE has completely muddled the lines of what an injury is and what an injury isn't. And we'll get to that when we talk about a couple of other storylines right now. But I absolutely do not care about that. I am watching sports entertainment for entertainment. And Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville are 20,000 times more entertaining than Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler.
That is some fire on that take. I mean, you can see Chris is smoking right now. That's how oh, he actually is. Chris, before I need to gather myself for a second. Chris, respond to Rod, please.
I completely
What are you thinking? Rod, seriously. They're more entertaining. How? They get killed all the time. They get pinned and it's over. They aren't being written correctly either. If they
Jimmy,
were
who's one of my
better,
favorite
maybe,
male tag teams?
Are you kidding me?
I love the
Like,
Alpha
seriously.
Academy. They lose all the time too. I like entertainment. Chelsea.
Yes. Easy, Chris King. It's not Chelsea.
And you're right, Jimmy. They
You're damn
aren't.
right I am.
They're not interesting to me. I think Chelsea Green is annoying, so I really don't have any feelings for someone. And I don't, like I said, I don't see them as a real tag team. I see them as being put together because the WWE needed to make a tag team division for the women.
Why
Like,
do you
they're-
think Ronda and Shayna go together other than you heard that they train together? Why do they go together?
Well, they
Because
actually
they both
look,
wear leather jackets? That's cool.
Yeah.
that helps. If you look similar, that helps. When DeVille and Green walk out, they don't look anything alike.
Don't you dare tell Chelsea Green what to start wearing to the ring. She looks absolutely fine wearing what she wears to the ring. All right. We are not going to start critiquing Chelsea Green's ring attire. Okay. She knows exactly what she's doing. And I am a fan of that particular aspect of her entertainment.
Listen, Alpha Academy, Street Profits, New Day, Bloodline, the Usos, I mean, the Viking Raiders, all these guys, all these tag teams have a look. They have,
Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. You might want to mention the champions. Just throwing that out there.
yeah, they're not going to be long-term
How many of those
champions.
teams you just mentioned lose? The Viking Raiders lose. The Alpha Academy lose. And you guys just told me I'm not supposed to
That's
care
what-
about Sonya and Chelsea
No.
because they lose. That to me is
I
not a good
didn't
enough
say
argument.
that. I didn't say that. That was Jimmy's first argument. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is if you want to have a female tag team championship and you want to make it legitimate, you got to have tag teams and not just individuals that you have cobbled together. And
So not
that's
just
what
Raquel Rodriguez and Shotzi, not just the ballsy badass Shotzi showing they'll come out of nowhere and say, Raquel Rodriguez, I respect you. Let's be a team.
right? I mean, that's what it feels like. The only two that I thought like seemed more like a tag team duo, and maybe it's as simple as they are dressing similar, is Baszler and Rousey.
There you have it, folks. Chris likes them because they both wear leather jackets. Hard-hitting stuff here on Yeah, We Know.
All right, we're going to move on from that for sure. Rod did mention this on Raw. We had another angle. Cody Rhodes apparently has a broken arm and will not let the doctor see this broken arm, so the doctor cannot medically disqualify him from fighting Brock Lesnar. If they would have had Cody Rhodes literally hiding from the doctor in the back and running away from the doctor, getting behind a lampshade or whatever, I think that would have been at least funny. I don't really see where that's going, but they are just building Rod. They're building up to Cody Rhodes losing to Brock Lesnar. That's what they're building up to.
Do you want the good or the bad, Jimmy?
Let's go good because I like bad, and we'll have bad later.
All right. Well, what I think is good is I loved Pierce on the phone to someone. We figured it was Triple H, and it was Triple H, right? I absolutely loved the let's do a couple of storylines every once in a while where Triple H is written in to come in as the heavy, right? We all know that he's running. We hope he's running anyway. Based on some of the storylines recently, we think Vince is running more of the show. But throwing a Triple H bone our way every once in a while will not make me mad. So I dug that aspect, right? Of, okay, we're going to bring H in as the heavy here. I thought that was pretty cool. But otherwise, come on, man. If you're going to give me Liv Morgan's not medically cleared to fight and you're stripping the tag team belts away from them and having it win on TV in a fatal four-way match, but now Cody Rhodes can have his hand smashed by a keg and still fight a week later, I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to believe and what I'm not. So I had a huge problem with, even though I know this is all entertainment and it's all fake, you got to give me some kernel I can hold on to. And with those two things happening at the same time, it just seems real suspect.
When you have real injuries and you're running injury angles and other angles, it does muddle the waters for sure. We have Liv Morgan, who I believe has a shoulder injury, so she's going to be out for a while. Dakota Kai just had ACL surgery. That's 6 to 9 months. That really sucks for her. So there's been a lot going on there, Chris King. Are you buying this storyline at all between Lesnar and Rhodes?
Not really. What it feels like to me is because we all saw what Cody did when he had the torn pectoral muscle and how gruesome that looked and how much pop he got during that match with Rollins. And I think they're trying to recreate it for this premium live event. And I think they're going at it at a weak way.
I wouldn't say weak in my opinion, but it's got a little too much Vince McMahon holes in it, to tell you the truth on that. Speaking about premium live events, we've had a lot of build up to Night of Champions, and we're going to talk about that now. We've got Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern. It's during the day, folks. So after your baseball games, soccer games, all that, you can go and watch. We got some matches here. Gunther versus Mustafa Ali, who got punked a lot by Lesnar. I mean, really, just get a life and, get out of there. Rod, Gunther and Mustafa Ali, how long is this match going to be, and how quickly is Gunther going to win?
I think this match is going to be 3.5 minutes, right? I think they're going to give Mustafa a couple of cool spots right off the top, right? Gunther's going to kind of be taken for a back at some of Mustafa's high flying and speed type abilities, right? A couple of moves are going to happen, a wild 1, 2, and like we're going to be on the edge of our seats, and then Gunther's just going to absolutely lay waste to him with like a big boot, a clothesline, Boston Crab, over and done.
Over or under 3.5 minutes, Chris?
Oh, I'm taking the over. We know Gunther can put on a show and put it on for a long, long time.
Gunther, either one.
Yeah. So I see this going at least 15 minutes, to be honest with you. I don't think Gunther wants to go out there for a 3.5 minute match on a pay-per-view event. He wants to go out there and get some work done. I see it 15 minutes.
Okay, so we all don't get it right. I'm going to go under 3.5 minutes. I think it's going to be one of those real quick slap, chop, chop, and it's just going to be over.
If that match goes 15 minutes, then we're in real trouble for the tag match.
Yeah. Rhea Ripley and Natty. We talked about this last week. It is going to happen. Rhea's going to win this one as well. No one thinks that Rhea's not going to win this one. Over under on this match, 6.5 minutes. What are you guys picking? Over under.
I'm going to take the under on that. I think that's closer to 3.5 minutes.
Okay.
I'm going to take the over in the annual Natty appreciation spot in Jeddah or whatever place they are in Saudi Arabia. She gets trucked out every time. I think they love the Hart family type deal, right? They still love Bret Hart there. So Natty's going to get a bit of a run. I'm going to go over on that. I think it's going to be about an 8-minute match.
Okay. The Raw, SmackDown, whatever belt she has.
This is ridiculous. Jimmy, I got to ask you about this because you see some things. Are we hearing anything about this? Do they have any plan, or are we just going to continue with this nonsense?
I think we're going to continue with this nonsense. I don't. Just make it the World and Universal Women's Championships. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah. Or just have them trade again. As dumb as that is, at least have them trade again so they're the right places.
So Bianca has a belt, and she's facing Asuka. Chris King. I'm thinking we're all going to have Bianca on this one, too. But Chris King, who do you got?
Yeah, Bianca.
Rod.
I love that we're going to have to point out that I was once again right. That many people out there had the same question I did about how Asuka continued to have that in her mouth, but then it bothers Bianca Belair so much that they mentioned there was like pepper flakes. This was a new batch that she was trying out. They mentioned that on Raw. So once again, I'm going to have to pat myself on the back there. I am on the pulse of what the WWE universe needs to know about. And that's why you should be listening and following and telling your friends about the Yeah We Know podcast here on the Morgan You Know Podcasting Network.
At Yeah We Know Pod on Twitter. Yeah We Know Pod on Instagram. We've got a Gmail at Yeah We Know Pod that the Crippler did not send us pics in this month, so we gotta get on Crippler here.
He'll probably get him in before the pay-per-view, so we'll at least be able to grade him.
That's true. Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus. I think Stratus is winning this one because I think they're gonna go to SummerSlam again. So I got Trish winning this one. Chris King.
Give me Trish Stratus.
Damn it. Rod.
You guys painted me into a corner then. I'm taking the man. I like your thought here, Jim, that they drafted Trish Stratus. I hope we're going to see more out of her than just the inaugural let's truck out a legend over in Saudi Arabia spot here. So I'm with you there that, okay, give me Becky and her at SummerSlam, but I'm going to continue to slightly push back against the disrespect that we are showing to one of the greatest women to wrestle in the history of the game, not named Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch.
Yes, it is time for Becky Lynch to start her ascension to whatever championship or whatever matchup. I think Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch would be amazing coming up again. Have those two fight. I think that would be great. So,
what if we birthed Raquel, Jimmy? What if we birthed Raquel? What if we could give Becky Lynch and Raquel some sort of a meaningful story and a nice match, and then people all of a sudden were kind of like, "Oh, all right, Raquel Rodriguez, I see it in you now." What if we did that?
Yeah, I think as soon as they get done with this, they need to go in that direction. I think the Liv Morgan just kind of gave Raquel a nice out, and let's get her back to singles. I think that's a really good idea as well. So the next three matches are interesting because we've got the new World Championship between Rollins and Styles. We've got Zayn and Owens versus Romans and Solo, and we've got Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. I don't know if the World Championship is going to be the main event, and I think that would be a horrendous choice. Do you think it's going to be the main event, Rod?
They're going to have Seth and AJ be the final match? No, I don't think that's going to be the main event.
It's for the World Championship.
No, that's not going to be the main event. I bet you they have Sammy and Kevin and Roman and Solo. That's the main event.
Okay. Chris King. I'll go with the world title matches main event. Chris King, what's the main event?
I think Rod is right. They're going to keep Roman on the main event. It's probably in his contract that he does have to do main events and premium live events. I would like to see it be AJ Styles and Rollins. That's probably going to be the match of the night, to be honest.
They don't want none. They ain't scared of it.
But I think Roman will always be the main event as long as he has those two belts on him. I think that's the first match or the last match, maybe. Or Rhodes and Lesnar's the first match.
Yeah, the only other one I would guess is that
first match.
As much as I love my boy Rollins, Jimmy, that's my third pick. If you're giving me the pick of all three, I'm going to go my answer first, and then I'm going what you said. Lesnar Rhodes is my second pick. All
right, so let's go to Lesnar Rhodes here real quick. They had a terrific back and forth match at the last Premium Live event. They've had a really good talking segment. They work well together. They have good chemistry. I'm excited to see what happens here. It would be really, really cool to have Rhodes continue to win and beat Lesnar. But I can also see them and I think it's okay. I don't think it's a bad thing if Lesnar wins. So I'm going to take Lesnar winning this one, and they're going to have the big match at SummerSlam. So I'm going to have Lesnar win this one.
All right, Jimmy, I'm going to pin you down here first. I'm going to pin you down here. All right. You've always got your ears into the wind and you can smell. I don't know if ears can smell anything or not, but I just made that analogy. Yeah. What kind of match are you thinking about for the third and final capper here at SummerSlam?
Well, we've had dog collar match maybe.
Really?
Between the two, or bull rope match, something like that. Going back to Dusty Rhodes, type of thing. Going back to Dad. But I think a dog collar match would be pretty nasty between these two.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I was a little burnt out on the Brock in case of glass, as we were jokingly calling him there for a little while, where it just seemed like they trucked him out and just, threw him against Roman. And those two guys worked a bunch, but they never seemed to have great chemistry, really. They wrestled a couple of good matches, but they weren't as good with promos back and forth. I just think that speaks to Cody's ability. He's one of the best talkers out there. I don't give him a lot of credit for that very often because, frankly, I spend most of my time taking pot shots at Cody Rhodes, but he is one of the better talkers out there. I'm with you, Jimmy. I'm going Lesnar wins this match.
All right, Chris King.
I'm going to take Cody then.
Let's go. Wow, we're actually going to have a battle on this one. So why is Cody going to win? And then what's next for Cody? Because if he beats Brock Lesnar twice in a row, you would think that would be it. Because, you really don't want Cody Rhodes beating anyone 3 times in a row.
Listen,
Darn you.
You'll see it happen again. You'll see them fight again in SummerSlam. And the only way I don't see them wrestling again in SummerSlam is if for some reason they switch Cody then to have a issue with whoever has whether it's Rollins or AJ Styles. Maybe that goes to SummerSlam, but I really think you're going to see Cody win. They're playing up this injury just so they can show him fighting through an injury and beating someone he shouldn't again.
All right, let's go to the tag team championship match next. We're going to go Zayn and Owens against Lesnar and Solo Sikoa. I am fascinated by the outcome of this match. Chris King, who you got?
Did you say Lesnar and Solo?
I did. Yes, Brock Lesnar is actually.
Look at you calling somebody out for a mispronunciation. I think the pot calling the kettle black. I don't know what is.
I never
Chris
get
King,
a chance to, so I had to.
7 million, Jimmy 2.
Well,
Okay.
Listen,
What do you got, Chris?
I got Kevin and Sammy winning this.
Okay.
I have somehow Roman blaming Solo for this.
You're going to break them up quick. All right. I like it.
I see that because there was already a little look with that bump when Roman left the ring the other night on SmackDown between him and Solo. So, and he's already mad at the brothers. Solo's next for him to get mad at. And then you have maybe that happening come SummerSlam.
Okay. Rod.
Jimmy, I want you to look closely at our Zoom screen here, all right? The listeners can't do this, but I want you to look closely. Do you see the little fish hook right here in the side of Chris's mouth pulling off to the side there? They got him. They got him with the old red herring. The smash with Solo was completely the misdirection, all right? I think Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa win this match. I think Vince loves the idea of the WWE Universe blowing their minds for a few days about Roman having all of these belts. It's Saudi Arabia. Yeah, it's Saudi Arabia, so they'll just redo something anyway when they come back to the States. Maybe Roman will even give them away to piss people off again. He'll say, you know what? I decided I actually don't want these. I just wanted to teach the Usos a lesson, and then there's another tournament for him. Who knows? I think Roman walks out of there with those belts, and I'll tell you why. I'm not taking any shots at Sammy or Kevin here, but I just don't know how much of a story they seem to want to tell with these guys as the tag team, right? Right now, all they are is just big-time baby faces just to come out and get pops as the champion. I think they see more interesting things to do with them as solo artists. What better way than to get the belt off of them from Roman Reigns?
I love Roman Reigns going to SmackDown with the 4 belts and Solo obviously having 2 of them and just staring down the Usos and just rubbing it in. Oh, and then Jimmy and Jay are just getting angry and angrier, and it builds and it builds and it builds. And then finally at SummerSlam, the number 1 contenders are the Usos, and they just have a bloodbath and they ended the bloodline. So I love that. The only thing, if this was anywhere else in the world other than Saudi Arabia, I would book it 100%. They're winning. I'm at about I'm about probably an 85-90% that they're going to win because it is Saudi Arabia, so Kevin and Sammy could win. I also agree with you that Kevin and Sammy being on Raw now we have 2 new contenders for that world championship.
Yes, okay. Absolutely.
Speaking of which, Rollins and Styles. This match, if I am the booker for this match, I get them in a room and I say, you 2 have 30 minutes. Go. And you're winning. That's it. That's all I say. And they are going to have a classic matchup. Everything is pointing to Seth Rollins winning this championship match. Chris King, you're going to go, then I'm going to go, then Rod's going to go. Chris King, who you got?
I'm going to take Rod's boy Rollins. I think they're gearing up to give him as big a push as they can. He's becoming a multi-dimensional star, getting into the Marvel movies. That's a big deal. That's one thing that helped John Cena get even more over than what he already was. I didn't care about John Cena until he showed up in Suicide Squad. So I see that happening. I see them pushing Riddle hard. I see them giving them gold.
You should really check out Blockers. That's some excellent work by John Cena on film. It's a really funny movie.
Okay. I want Rollins to win. Styles winning makes a little sense. They bring him over to Raw. They'd have Kevin Owens, they'd have Sami Zayn, they'd have Cody Rhodes, they'd have all these good guys to go against bad guy AJ Styles. That worries me. That worries me a lot. Vince McMahon is in charge. That worries me a lot.
I thought Styles was on SmackDown.
Well, if he's
but they already said that the other belt's got to go.
He's going to go to Raw. He'll go to Raw.
I see.
Yeah. Please, I hope they don't. Screw it. Who cares? Keep him on SmackDown. I'm going to pick Rollins to win this. I think Rollins is going to win. I just give us a good guy champion for the love of God, Rodney.
I really wish I could describe for the listeners the journey that I have gone on with Seth Rollins here in this belt. I was extremely excited the minute that the belt was unveiled. I basically immediately hit our group thread with Seth Rollins has to be this champion or we riot.
Legitimately, I don't think the cover of the belt was not off yet, showing what it was, and we got that from Rod.
Yeah, so I mean, I was there. Then I heard the news of him being in the new Marvel movies. And Chris, if we were 5 years ago, I would absolutely agree with you. But I think Rollins is attaching to the Marvel universe when it is on its nadir. Still certainly a big thing for him, but I don't necessarily know that it is the huge behemoth that it was when RDJ and Evans and all the other boys were starring in those movies. So congratulations to my guy Seth for branching out, but let's not branch out too far because you literally just did a sit-down interview where he said you're going to be the fighting champion that everybody deserves and you're going to be around, and now you're on a movie set. So all of this has me nervous. It has me dancing around, tying my stomach up in knots. I believe AJ Styles is winning this match.
Yeah, I figured you're going to pick him.
Yeah, Rob likes to pick the guys he doesn't want to win to hope to be the reverse jinx so his guy does win.
I do the reverse jinx very often, but I just think Styles winning here makes a lot of sense, right? Like we get so much talk of AJ Styles and he has this air of being one of the greats about him, but his resume actually isn't that extensive. So you stick this belt on him, it just helps elevate him that extra notch right before his sunset days and really help solidify that future Hall of Famer status for AJ Styles.
Yeah, bring Styles back to Raw with the OGBC, and Nakamura's there as well, so it's another person he can face. There's really a lot of faces for a heel champion, but that's two heel champions. Who knows? I think it's going to be a good show. Hopefully we get to watch it somewhat live, like we're all three paying attention to the other live thing that's happening now. And it looks like we are going to have a game 5 in the Heat Celtics match up there. Celtics in 7.
Jimmy, I'm going big right now. A little nugget, a little treasure, a little Easter egg for those who listen to both podcasts. Right now, I'm predicting it. Celtics win 4 straight and still make it to the NBA Finals. Let's go.
And with that, you've been listening to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the Morgan Knows Podcasting Network. In the Ring with Jimmy, Old Man Chris, and Rod.
Listen, we just did a premium live event and we've been talking about the biggest hitters in the WWE for a little while. I promise for you hardcore wrestling fans out there, we will do a mid-card checkup next week. We got a bunch of new people up from NXT. We got a bunch of new people on shows. We got people back. We got people who may be leaving. We might get tears from Chris King on this podcast. Many more things to stay tuned here on the Yeah We Know podcast for.
Goodbye, Internet.